Hello, everyone. Wow. Monday afternoon. I'm going to give everybody as much time as they want to filter in. And in the meantime, I'm going to put some Burt's Bees hand salve on my very dry nails while I say hello. That made a very fun sound. This is going to be the running joke of Stream Forever, is that every day I get on and I'm like, I'm not feeling so good today. And you're going to be like, do you ever feel good? Yes, sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. But I have phases of my life where I have like a really intense amount of activity and I like push through a lot of stuff and we get a lot of stuff done. We travel a bunch, we talk to a lot of people, and that's almost always followed by at least a week of my body being like, you guys stop making us do so much stuff. So also I think this time last year, which I fully attributed to stress from the election, which is not invalid. I got really, really bad headaches and migraines and tension. Again, hello, Monday, fun day. Let me know if the music's too loud, by the way. It's like goofy little Mario music in my ears. Just sounded nice and completely irrelevant to all things fitness and health, but except for that Mario is good for us and Nintendo is good for our brains and souls. But you know what I mean? But I think something might happen this time of year with all the leaves falling off the trees and all of that pollen going poof. And because I've been very, very asthmatic and very, very headachy. And a bunch of people I know had migraines last week. Maybe barometric pressure is the final boss for us all. So again, it sounds perfect. Good. Again, how is your Monday going? Is it full of fun today? I hope so. This is going to be a little bit different. This music might be getting too goofy for me. We'll find out. It started out really nice and now I'm like, what are you doing? Mario music. We'll see. Could always put Diddy Kong Racing music on. Maybe I'll do that. Don't mind my attention span. This is normal. Yeah, it's upbeat and chill, but too upbeat and chill. Diddy Kong Racing OST. Let's go. Boom. Let's see if that makes me happier. It probably does. It's not as chill, but I really like it. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so I'm feeling a little bit better this afternoon. Getting out of the house was good. I took Zeke for a walk. It is very cold. It's like 34 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh my God. Almost freezing. But yeah, I am trying to do more stuff like this so that I can start to have more fitness content because it is a big part of what I do. And I want to have more reach with my fitness buddies and people. And one thing that I really need to do this week before I see the physical therapist on Friday, because Jackie is my guide in all things, keeping me put in one piece. Not to put that much pressure on her. But one thing I need to do is write my program for the next, I've got 6 months basically between now and when we go to the Fallout fan celebration. And I like having like a fun event to go to as a marker for planning things. Is my body good enough and awesome enough right now? Yes. Is yours too? Yes. Is it still fun sometimes to be like, well, it'd also be nice to be feeling kind of muscly and cute if I'm going to be wearing like a Vault-Tec bathing suit in West Virginia with a bunch of fans? Like, that's also okay. Could I show up there tomorrow and have a fucking baller ass time and feel great about myself head to toe? Yes. So we can be into aesthetic stuff and also still be very grounded in knowing that we are like good enough and whole enough right now. Big things for me, though, realistically are not aesthetic. They are relieving pain and building muscle in areas strategically to help minimize, like limit current pain and also prevent more in the future. So let me pop over to my little document. Please feel free to interrupt. Like, I'm going to be paying attention to chat as much as I can. This is Hangout just chatting time just as much as it's me having to get work done time. I'm happy to answer questions. I'm going to be kind of, this is a very much like a peek behind the curtain of what it looks like when I write programming for my clients. It's not super high tech, spoilers. And I'm going to put a bunch of random notes down. I'm sure there will be some things that I forget, but I thought this would be a nice time to hang out. So also, again, I'm so glad you're here hanging out. This is great. Getting ready for work? No. You were playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. You forgot to save your game. Unbelievable. Again, no. How far? Wait, how much did you play without saving? That's very stressful. What? Your tycoonery. No. Shit. Your body keeps telling you yes. Yes, more Roller Coaster Tycoon, or yes, more work. So let me make sure this looks like it'll be big enough. I'm at 200%. We can go up, but let's see. I'm going to write down a couple things that I don't normally write down. They're just for everybody's benefit in the chat so that you can see them when we can refer back to them. But I'm going to put down priorities. You'll get to see if I can spell. 6 fundamental movement patterns. Yeah. Shit. Which includes squat, hinge, lunge, push, pull, carry. I want to make sure that I get all of these in at least once, some of them twice during the week in different ranges of motion. So for squatting, we're going to have 1 heavy, 1 full range of motion. So that's going to be like, fucking goddamn, can't I just have some fucking music that's not freaking me out? Central area. Hold on a second. Mario Kart. How about Mario Kart music? Diddy Kong Racing, too distracting. Jesus Christ. There's this like little cute 8-bit one that I play sometimes. Oh, I think I do Mario Kart Lo-Fi and that gets me there. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Diddy Kong Racing soundtrack is elite. How about this one? It's just too distracting. Okay. Lo-Fi. That'll be fine. Booth, hello. 2 hours and 30 minutes again. Fuck. That's terrible. That's not a good time. Well, that's okay. You can do it. It's also not that much. You can do it. I know it goes fast. I know it goes fast. When you're playing something like that, but still, damn. The Diddy Kong 2. Oh, Diddy Kong 2? Oh, Donkey Kong 2. Shit. I don't know Donkey Kong's music. I'm a Diddy Kong gal. This is for me personally. Oh, the RDL. So I do like RDLs. There probably will be some RDLs because, okay, we'll bounce all over the place. You interrupt me as much as you want. There will be some RDLs. I personally am a hip thrust girl for big glute building for me. That one always feels really good. I like hip thrusts. I like single leg hip thrusts. I like a fucking barbell hip thrust. I like RDLs because that's very hammy for me. Very, very hammy. I also, some things that I'm going to be considering are, I want to be able to do these workouts and let me know if it's like visible enough. I can't like really tell. Is it okay? I can have it be bigger. Let's go up to like 13. We can also make everything bold. Is that a little more visible? Because I'll reformat it for myself. That looks a little bit better. So, yes. So again, I'm going to include some notes that aren't typically things that I include for myself so that I can share them with you and let you know what I usually think through when I think about a client. So I'm going to have 1 heavy, 1 full range of motion. Hinge, I'm probably going to have 2 variations. One with 1 heavy and 1 with like a stance adjustment. I'll just call it that. I'm just making some of this shit up. Don't worry. This is just for my own. This is for my own notes anyway. So that's going to be like a kickstand variation, something with rotation. Here, I'll put stance slash, let's see, stance or rotation, which it just means that it will have a variation. That could be like I really liked doing a front foot elevated like Bulgarian split squat with a rotation, rotating over the leg that's down with a little bit of weight held like in a good morning position. Stuff like that is really, really good for lateral hip and is very, very fun. So then lunging, I'm probably going to have this be more accessory. Well, sorry, I'll have one lateral and 1 accessory. So I'll have something I'll be hitting it as part of a warm up at least once or twice. Again, you can have more than twice for certain things, but I'm going to have like 1 lateral movement, might not be super heavy. We'll be focused on control. 1 accessory just to make sure that I get another pattern in. So if I'm doing like a lateral step up, right? I'll have like a front or back, a forward or reverse lunge of some other pattern. You can also sneak it in with little things that you do like when I'm doing my single leg RDLs for my warm-ups, like that technically counts as like single leg work because that's what lunges are. Lunges is single leg essentially. When we're thinking about a lunge pattern, we're not necessarily thinking directly a lunge, but it's like, where's my single leg work fitting in? If we think the squat and the hinge are predominantly both feet planted, that our lunge is going to be where we get onto a single leg. So that might not look like quite how you expect. And same thing with the squat and the hinge, like leg presses, obviously that's a squat position, but people don't necessarily always clock that as like really squatty. I also on my squat day will encompass things like leg extensions because you're doing really quad focus, lower body building, lots of hip flexor. So that won't be an option at home, but that's, again, things to think about that you can include kind of under the umbrella of these where we're still helping build aspects of movement patterns. As long as you still get a squat in at some other point during the week, you can do like a leg extension is a very valid like quad builder. Also, knee builder, exactly. Exactly, Cash. We need good quads and hamstrings. Yes, Cash, yay, watch streak. Yeah, it's a high. Okay, Cash loves everybody in case you all missed it on the stream. Yeah, pushing. This is going to be limited due to shoulder rehab. I have essentially tendinopathy. I have a fucking Marlon and I laughed so hard when I was like, Jackie thinks it might be my labrum, because there's a whole Bob's Burgers episode where Bob's labrum is like fucked up and they make it a joke. It's like the part of your back part of your penis or some shit. It's like, no, not your labrum, whatever. It's very dumb. And I love Bob's Burgers, so whatever. But I do have, this shoulder is it's got some weird stuff. It's got some weird stuff. It's very strong in other new fun ways now. But pushing mechanics do not feel very good, except for push-ups feel okay in certain formats, especially not going too intense. And I can do overhead press. I can do landmine press. And I can do my shoulder PT. So I will, like, spoiler alert, this next 6 months are going to be a lot of maintenance and rehabbing my upper body and more focusing on lower body, core, and endurance, just because those are things that I like. And I have some front knee pain, like right on that. It's generally called patellofemoral, because your patella is your kneecap and your femur is your thigh. If you have where your femur and your patella connect, like if it hurts kind of either right there at the top or right there on the front, or right like a little bit lower down towards your tibia, patellofemoral generally encompasses that. And it doesn't necessarily, it's not diagnostic, but a lot of things aren't diagnostic. And that's a big thing that I also like will talk about a lot while I'm doing stuff like this, is like, I don't have a formal shoulder diagnosis because the shoulder's a really complicated joint, and like I haven't gotten an MRI or an X-ray or whatever, but like an MRI or an X-ray also might tell me something that isn't actually the cause of the problem, and might highlight something that looks like an injury but actually is functioning fully normally. Like the percentages of people that have bone on bone in a joint, especially the knee, that don't have pain is extraordinarily high. Like any of us in our 30s, if you went and got an MRI of your spine, there would be something that ticked. Like half of us at least would have something that was like, oh, bulging disc, or like something a little like looking like not quite right, or looking like a little bit pinched. Doesn't mean you have any pain. It doesn't mean that you have anything that you need to get a surgery around or anything you need to do differently. But that's why like some of this is a little bit like, yeah, my knees kind of hurt sometimes, so we're going to be focusing on that, but I can't tell you exactly what's going on. Non-exist right now thanks to Jeff. Well, yeah, I know. Well, Cash, this is so okay. Pulling, let's see. Oh, sorry, one side. Three times volume pulling to pushing. I'm just putting this in a note. Carrying, we'll do like one time heavy, one time as part of other movements. Because you can sneak them in for like an RDL has a carry, right? It's not, you're not necessarily going for the max amount that you can pick up and hold. So it's not like a max out carry, like how much can I farmer carry this weight and walk around? But that still counts. That's good. What was I saying? Yeah. So so priorities, restarting. I don't have to do that in all caps. Restarting training after long break. It's been about, let's see, December. It's been about 4 months since I've trained regularly. 4 months off. I deal with nervous system that's very fried a lot of the time, so I've been trying to decompress that to actually get into parasympathetic nervous system a little bit more. So we're going to be doing, I'm looking at 2 days strength training per week, no higher than 6 RPE. That's rate of perceived exertion. That's where I like to train anyway, even for my clients in full health. 6 to 8 max. We're very, very rarely going all fucking out balls to the wall, because it just is very, very intensive. And most of us, generally speaking, do not recover properly or enough to train hella fucking hard all the time. Occasionally I love doing sprints. I like doing stuff on the bike where we're maxing out like VO2. Like that's the kind of stuff that I'll take into a higher intensity, like being on I love the Airdyne bike or the rower, or yeah, sprinting, kettlebell swings, things like that. Occasionally you can get like pretty winded, but I'm very rarely doing an RPE of like a heavy lift, just because it requires an enormous amount of being relaxed and healing and fueling in a specific way. And my body doesn't recover very well, especially not right now, just because my stress threshold is very high. So Cash, all that to say, take it fucking easy on yourself that you've had some time off, because it happens to almost all of us. Like At some point in our lives, we will have an injury, we will have an illness, we will have a mental health issue, we will have no time, no funds, no energy, other things to prioritize, whatever the fuck it may be. And those things are always valid. Movement is I feel like something that should be accessible and fundamental. Like it's a fundamental right, as is everything else, being able to find ways to move or to have our bodies feel good. Like if you're somebody who has a lot of disabilities and like, you know, can't walk or can't move in this traditional ways, that you would still have access to like massage and like acupuncture or things that feel good for your body and help you feel good. Even if like getting up and getting sweaty isn't an option, there are lots of things about our health and movement that are really critical and get kind of denied to us day to day as we fucking capitalist hellscape rat race. So just like, as I'm saying to you right now, as I say to all my clients always, it's not you that's the problem. It's the fucking system and the program. So if shit isn't working for you for some reason, don't fucking blame yourself. Find things that will work well for you. That's what this is all about. And I think the most full-time I've trained since high school and early college, when I was working out in a really unhealthy way to stay thin and all that bullshit. The most not recovering well, definitely not, very harmful, very self-harmy phase, not good. The most full-time I've worked out, like trained heavy, was like the first year I was doing this new job, and I put on a ton of muscle, but that is also where I sort of started to lay the groundwork for like this current injury and also overdoing my knees and like not having enough strength in the right way. So it was really fun, but not super sustainable. And then also earlier this year, I saw a great coach, Dr. Justin Farnsworth. If I pop this up on YouTube, I'll shout him out in the comments. He's also a physical therapist. And because I was like paying good money to coach with him, I was like, dude, I want to see as much programming as possible, because I was partially doing it so that I could learn how to better coach people online myself. I was like, give me as much programming as you got. So it was like 4 90-minute workouts a week, which it always took me longer because I get distracted. And it was very, very fun. And I saw some like watching the numbers go up, watching your hip thrust go up, your deadlift go up, like watching that stuff increase. Great. But yeah, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of fucking time and a lot of energy. And I get fully fried very quickly. So just, you know, when we're thinking about this stuff, like, just be realistic and know that it gets to come in seasons, and that rest is good. Rest is very good for us. So we're thinking 2 days of strength training per week, no higher RP than 6. And I want to be able to do both days at home in my home gym. Yeah, if possible. I don't have dumbbells. I have a barbell, and I've got a couple kettlebells that I hate because I bought them recommended online as like competition grade, and they're kind of not whatever. I didn't spend enough money on them probably, or didn't get the right brand, because it's probably not a money thing, because sometimes the expensive things are worse. But I do have them and can hold them, and I just don't like doing them for like swinging and stuff. No swinging with those bells. Yes. So, and then I'm going to be, shit. I can't remember what you do to do that. Fuck. Tab? No. What's the other way? What do you do? What, control? Alt. Shit. I did something weird. That's fine. There. Whatever. It's fine. I will also be trying to get a 20 to 30 minute walk every day, because it's good for me. And then yoga, 20 to 40 minutes, 3 to 5 days a week. That might seem like a lot, but that's very attainable for me. Mostly what I'm going to be really going in slow with is the strength training. We're going to keep that really, really chill, and we'll keep it like 45 minutes or less. Super, super low. Red Sir, hello! This stream streak stuff is crazy. Also, happy December, everybody. Did you guys know it's December? That's fucking crazy. Where'd this year go? Super fucking wild. Okay, so those are going to be my two. Those are, again, I'm adding in a couple more notes for just the sake of... You just hit enter again. Duh. That's fine. So then we're also... The other thing that we're going to think about is shoulder. So let's see. Training objective. Because... Here, I'll pop this down one more. What is the point of doing anything? Training objectives. What is the point of doing anything? I mean, if it feels good, right? So let me just backtrack immediately. If something feels good and is like nourishing for us, like feels good to move through, that's great. But if we have specific goals, we wouldn't just randomly toss whatever the fuck exercises, right? Like if we've got something we want to work on or something we like doing or something that makes us feel good, like those all can play into your objectives and your purpose. But purpose is the biggest thing with training. And it's the most common thing that I see people struggle with when they're trying to train on their own, because you're like, okay, I go to the gym and then I do some bench press and we do some squats and we do 3 sets of 10, or we do 4 sets of 6, or then I do the treadmill for 30 minutes. And it's like, okay, but like, that's great. That stuff is all good. And not having a ton of like direction is okay. But also, why are you doing that? Is that where you are at? Is that the right level? Is it the right difficulty? Is it attainable with your schedule, with your money, with your time, all that shit? So purpose is very, very important. And that's a huge part of my job, is like, okay, cool. You want these things. Let me give you the things that help you to get there. That's the big thing. And also with lots of fun mixed in, because what's the point of doing anything? It's true, Ken. We could just stop right there. What's the point of doing anything? Oh yes, there's Equox. I took Zeke out today. It is getting really cold. My Christmas present to myself, assuming that finances are stable, is getting the treadmill that I got for free repaired. Again, I know a lot of really cool, generous people. I am extremely lucky. This treadmill sat in someone's storage unit, unused, brand new, for 10 years, and had some mice living in it. So its little circuit board got fried. And of course, that's the most expensive piece that needs to be repaired. Is it still cheaper than a new treadmill? Fuck yes. It will cost like less than half of the cost of a new one of the same quality. But I'm just waiting until money's okay. But so some of the walks will be Zeke walks, but it is Kentucky. So it could be 70 degrees tomorrow in December. It also could be 6 degrees, and I'll bundle up and go out there. But at a certain point, it gets pretty unfun. Training objectives. So the other thing I do need to do though is shoulder PT 3 days a week. Days per week. I've been a little bit less consistent with it for about a month. I was really, really solid with it for like 5 months, like doing it at least 3 days a week, sometimes more, because some of it's very like needs a lot of volume in a controlled way. So you don't want to do a bunch of volume at once. Volume meaning like amount of reps, or amount of weight at one time, whatever. But this is a high rep volume situation. So I was doing it like 4 or 5 days a week a lot. But I was in Vegas for 2 weeks, and then I've been migrainey last week and getting caught back up. So I've just fallen off of that, but it is stuff that I can do here. A lot of it's body weight or requires very little equipment. So training objectives. 1, stacked glutes, quads, hammies. This is going to be 6 months of like, we're going to town on them legs, on them little leggies. We're not going to go crazy, I promise, but that's like number 1. Part of why is to, look fucking hot, but also less knee pain, smiley face. Yeah. So anterior knee pain. What's one of the things that helps with the anterior knee pain? Having fucking hella quads, or even just more than you have now, because the quads do a couple things. They create tension. So when the muscle's really like pumped and strong and big, it pulls, has a little bit more constant generated force all the time. So it pulls your kneecap, your knee, like the joint actually apart a little bit. So that if you do have like reduced cushion for whatever reason, or like even if you don't, it still helps like reducing pressure here when our knee functions. So we pull that apart a little bit. So that's good. It also is a shock absorber. So downward force doesn't just pummel right into the knee joint. It gets absorbed by the quad. So this is a good thing. So we focus on quads. Because of my knee pain, certain types of movements don't always feel great. And this is very common for people across the spectrum of fitness and ability, like starting young. Knees are just a common place where we see some issues. Because of that, it means we get to also work on my favorite things, glutes and quads, or glutes and hamstrings. Because rear kinetic chain is also very supportive of like the whole leg works, all that shit helps hold everything up and absorb shock and just like creates good tension and structural support and all that. So we get to work on those things. Also calves. Lol. You can write whatever you want in your notes for yourself. This is what it turns out. So we're going to be doing hella fucking quad, hamstring, glutes to I don't know. It just sounds fun to like have that kind of hotness. I don't know. Sue me. Again, we're doing great right now. Absolutely. All of us are. Our bodies get to be exactly what they are at this moment with fucking no question. This is my body and it is your body, and they get to be themselves. We get to exist in human bodies. Our body is the least interesting thing about us. We know that hotness comes from within. It comes from how you are and what you do and what you're interested in. But it's also fun to have a big fat ass. Like I'm just here for that. That's definitely into this. And just like no shade if you've got aesthetic goals. Just like as long as they don't fucking hurt you, like as long as they don't take away from your life, I don't care. I'm on board. So number 2 is relieve shoulder pain, maintain upper body strength. My upper body's not super strong right now. It's okay. It's when you do specific things for like PT is just a regression of a regular exercise. That's all it is. And a regular exercise is a progression of something that you would then regress for somebody who wasn't ready for that progression. It's all just on a spectrum. So a lot of the stuff I'm doing now for PT is like one-handed downward dogs in yoga. Do you know how much strength it takes and stability to get into a one-handed downward dog smoothly and with control and to like hang out there and be on like 3 points of contact in that position? It takes a lot of strength. Then when I try to like lift this arm up and like pop it like that, I can't fucking do because it fucking hurts, but I can do other things really well. But it's just like always focusing on what you can do and trusting the process. Jackie is like the best fucking PT I've ever fucking met, and she's so fucking cool and we love her so much. And she's really been like, you know, it's one of those things where going through this with her, having her at the gym, like I have a huge amount of advantages with getting physically better. Her costs aren't very expensive. She gives like trainers a discount, all that good stuff. They're also just not that expensive anyway. But the biggest thing with her has been like, you got to try it out, and you got to try it out for like 6 fucking weeks. All right. You don't do it for a week and go, I don't know if this is working. You have to do it for like months, and you have to then check in and be like, okay, I did this 3 times a week for a month and things feel different. Now we check in again. And it's like, it's a very, very long, slow, steady process that requires a lot of consistency, which I'm very bad at, but I don't like being in pain. And a lot of the exercises I'm doing for my shoulder PT are pretty interesting. And so and they feel very new and weird. And it's kind of nice to do stuff that is like, oh, hey, I didn't actually think I could do this. And maybe I couldn't 3 months ago. So it has kind of a built-in feedback of like, oh, this is like helpful. So I think that focusing on that for my upper body will be really nice. That's going to work really well for me. Will be as a good objective. Because I will do it because I don't want to be in pain. And a lot of it is very similar. A lot of the things I do in yoga, I do for PT. So I can like do my yoga with Adrienne on YouTube or whatever we do. Look forward to that on streams as well. We'll do some yoga together. It'll be great. And I'll run some yoga classes too, and they'll be very scruffy and we'll love it. But so I can do that, and then I can do my PT right afterwards. So I'm not trying to overload myself. I'm setting myself like reasonable expectations. Some of it might be a little too much, but again, it's not going to be me. If I can't do it, it's not me, it's the program. We adjust it so that it's attainable. And then hopefully as you build confidence in doing things repetitively, like, okay, cool, I can do this twice a week. Cool. Let's add a 3rd day and see how that goes. Does that still work? That's how we build. But like forcing ourselves into it, trying to like go to the gym every day, first of all, not recommended, but also just like whenever we set the bar too high, we often feel like we're the ones that have failed. And it's like, no, usually the bar just isn't at the right height. Make sure it's the right height. Again, when do you have to go to work? We get cash. Body positivity, body autonomy as well. Body fucking justice and rights. You do not have to fucking change yourself or look any sort of fucking way for anybody. But also on the flip side of that, if you want to change and you want to look a sort of way, that's your fucking business. You're not hurting, like, and even I would say you're not hurting yourself. Even if you're hurting yourself, it's still your fucking body and your business. Like it's not for me to tell you, like, you know, if you come to me as a professional and are like, should I do this? I might be like, nah, I don't know. But as a person to a person, I'm not going to just like fucking volunteer that shit or make comments on you about things like that. And I try really hard to not, I've really broken free from a lot of that bullshit. And it's very, very hard because we deal with it a lot in society. We deal with lots of friends and family who make comments about other people's bodies or your body or their body in ways that are really, really denigrating and negative. And it can be just very difficult to like exist. So just be nice to yourself, and you're like living in a fucking upright, sentient bag of meat and bones and fluids and shit. Like it's fucking awesome and weird and painful and beautiful and upsetting and hard and great and all of those things. And I just like, I don't fucking want anyone to ever have to stress about being something for anybody else. We don't need that shit. I feel like Fit Dom might be a good fit for me, except for that my first reaction, I don't fucking like being told what to do. So I am not the trainer that's going to be like, you have to do this to get what you want. Blah. I'm always just like, all right, you don't feel like it? Cool, whatever. I was like, let me know when you do. I got you. I don't, that's like a big thing for me where I'm like, I'm not going to fucking make you do it. I'm just going to be here to lift you in the right direction. So maybe if I expressly went into it with people being like, I'm going to fucking make you work out, baby, or whatever. See, I'm not good at this. Yeah. I saw that again. Oh, I did. Marlon and I are going to see the Whole Bloody Affair on Friday. I haven't decided if I'm going to dress up yet. I probably should just for the social media content. No, Taliscan. What are you fucking talking about? We just no. Taliscan, I was going to ask you for a blurb to be like, hey, Taliscan, would you send me like a headshot and say something nice about what it's been like to train with me? And you're just going to be like, this bitch threatened me. She said I was going to die. Honestly, though, joke blurbs, I'm actually here for that. Please send me your fake reviews of me as a coach anytime, or just as a streamer. Hilarious. I would love to see your out of 5-star reviews of everything that I do. That would be great. Grat, hello. Also Squidward. Hi, guys. I have gotten nothing done, but that's okay because I wanted to just hang out and talk about stuff. Last objective. So I'm trying to think of how to word this because I just want to build up I want to build up a little bit more cardiovascular endurance. So I think I'm just going to say that, build cardiovascular endurance. We know that's a little bit, again, all of these are kind of amorphous. What is it like? We don't, you always hear this like SMART goal thing, which can be great for certain things, but a lot of this stuff, like I will be tracking progress, right? So stacked glutes includes me tracking whatever exercises I decide to do, like my RDLs or my hip thrusts or whatever, and being like, okay, cool. We were at 100 pounds, now we're at 110. Great. Like there will be data along the way, but stacked doesn't have a final number or value for me. I'm not looking for a pant size. I don't weigh myself. I'm not looking for fucking step counts or whatever. I'm not using a lot of data for myself personally. That gets to be something that you decide how that works. I find that numbers on my plates, numbers on my dumbbells, that is a number that I enjoy watching. I'm also very kind and chill with like, oh shit, I had to fucking go down 50 pounds. Like, well, fuck, that's okay, great. Like, I'm never like, oh no, I'm a shrimp. It's like, no. If you're fucking alive and upright right now, you're tough as balls. So don't ever forget it. But we'll be tracking that. That's the same thing too with relieving shoulder pain, maintaining upper body strength. We'll be kind of taking a look at, for me, that's going to look like in the tracking, and I'll show you this when I start to actually map stuff out on the next page. That's going to look like progression of exercises. Like, okay, cool. I was doing 1 pound external rotations, chest supported, on the yoga ball, and now I'm doing 2 pounds of that, or we've actually progressed to doing like, I've got like 10 pound external rotation arm supported or whatever that means. Like, so I'll be looking at like the differences. So that's, again, not kind of classic, like you start on day 1 and where are you at month 3 or whatever. That's a little different to track, but it's also, you're allowed to track things intuitively and just within yourself and how they feel. Like day to day, you'll notice like you'll reach up. For me, it's like I'll reach up to grab something out of a bag and my arm doesn't hurt. And I go, cool, we're making progress. So, but I can't fucking like measure that. Also, great. So good to see you, by the way. I don't know if I shouted you out properly. A short, I might, do I have to play Fortnite to see the short? Are they going to put it on YouTube? I've never played Fortnite. It's famously, all of the versions of spelling Fortnite are like banned from the chat. But Booth can write them because he's a mod. That was just a funny joke a while ago and I never changed it. Squidward, what are you eating at the store? Wait, what does mocap mean? Was that like is it one of those things that like follows her body movements? Is that what that means? I'm just guessing. One, did I make it to the gym? That's good. I'm very into process-oriented goals. Like, did I do yoga 3 times a week? Was that for 10 minutes? Great. Was that for 5 minutes? Great. Check. Box checked. Like, I have a general number on here, but like, I don't actually care about that. I'm very, very into that. I'm also going to add speed for fun, not the drug. I just like to run around and go fast. Okay. So, I'm getting very distracted. This is normal. So this is what we're going to be working on. See if there's anything else that I want in my notes. So again, fundamental movement patterns, squat, hinge, lunge, push, pull, carry. Those are our 6 that we focus on. What I do with all of my clients. This is actually a general, these are general things that I consider when I'm writing things for you or for my, clients in person, that we have like 1 heavy quad day, 1 that's a very full range of motion. They may be similar. They may be really different, but when you get 2 in a week. Hinge, similarly, we're going to have 2 variations, 1 that's going to be heavy, like a deadlift or a hip thrust, and 1 that has a stance or rotation variation of some variety too, because that's one of the ways that you can also progressively overload is by changing up your points of contact or your balance. So that's actually a really common thing if you're doing really simple stuff, like if you're doing like a deadlift, for example, or let's start with a squat. We'll start with something super easy. If you've got like a dumbbell and you're just doing goblet squats, like to the bench, easiest thing you can do is pop into a kickstand. Sorry, you can't see my feet. Someday I'll have like a great setup in the garage and you'll be able to see all this shit. But I popped up onto my toes on my left foot and left my right foot planted. So I'm biasing my right foot, having to do most of the pushing. My left foot is still there for balance, but less so, right? So that's a really easy way. Our brains also, that's usually enough variation to give you variation for your body to adapt to. So you're not feeling like you're doing too much repetition. Repetition is very good for us. I just mentally find it difficult to do the same things for too long, which is why I typically am on a 4-week rotation out of a 12-week program. But just like, again, also we think about if we're doing bench press, like with dumbbells, just doing one arm at a time. That's also like holding one arm steady without weight. That varies your kind of points of contact and how you're able to balance. So there's lots of those little tweaks make a big difference in how our bodies learn and how they create just adaptive muscle around different tasks. So I like to do things like that just because it's also fun to feel the difference, which is cool. Lunging, again, we're going to make sure we do a lateral for quad building, specifically quad and lateral hip. And then one that's very accessory as part of my warm up. We'll see as I start to map things out. I just don't want to, I'm just like not sure. Oh, fuck. I forget about things like Bulgarians. I can do those here. I think we're not going to worry about that as much this first 4 weeks because, let me see. Add in heavy later. Because I often do, because I usually have a 3 days, and I'm only doing 2 starting out, and I really want the focus to be on the squat and the hinge. So we're just going to do that. Oh no, Squidward. Those are ouchie. Motion capture. Thank you. Do I have to play Fortnite? It's fork knife. You think I'm fork? Legs, hello. Thank you for the work, Lurk. I love you so much. Hope you're doing well. Aw, alive, but you're not upright. That's okay. That's okay, Squidward. I didn't mean to fucking gatekeep just being alive. I was counting just, you know, above the ground, not just upright. You're doing great. And it started to snow. Well, Squidward with the excuses. I am completely kidding. I'm not fucking leaving if it's snowing either. I'm gonna just do some stuff at the house. You can always just foam roll around and like stretch and have a good little time. I know I've been hearing about it too. It's been showing up in my, but that's like, I wasn't sure if I had to play fucking Fortnite. Taliscan, love my hinge days. Love to really track achieving my days during the week, working out, do track weight macros, but I'm training myself not to depend on that alone. Old clothes fitting is also a good metric, but now muscles making shirt tight again. See, that's fun. See, sometimes it's okay it's like an okay mental feeling for the clothes to fit a little differently. It also should be regardless of the reason, but we have a lot of societal pressures and can feel very out of control when our body is changing in ways we don't understand. So when it changes in ways we do understand, it tends to be very fun, but I just know it's a nice feeling. Fishnet shirts would solve that problem. Everyone wants to see that. Okay, I think I have some pretty good notes for myself starting out. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, this is going to be a very B focused thing. So I'm going to swap over here. Day 1, you're going to see this shit. You're going to see how I like my splits. Oh wait, hold on. Block 1, 4 weeks. Day 1. Squat pull. That's my favorite. I like to do a squat pull hinge push. That's what we're about out here. So then I pop down here and I put day 2 and I put hinge push. Taliscan, these warm-ups are going to look really familiar because they're what I use as well. So we've got warm-up. I have foam rollers at home. For my squat day, I'm going to foam roll my hip flexors. I usually do my glutes as well. I'm going to do hip flexors. We're going to foam roll quads. I've got some pain I need to limit. My warm-up will also probably look twice as long as most of my clients. Not because I'm trying to not give you the most thorough warm-up possible. I just don't want you to fucking be like, what is this full workout before my workout? And that's why I also typically give people a lot of muscle primers. So you're getting a very adequate warm-up. Mine is just always extra fucking thorough. Also because I like to take my time and just like listen to Dungeon Crawler Carl while I warm up. So don't feel like you're missing out. And also like, again, I usually listen if people have like a pain point, if you've got knee issues, if you've got tightness in your hips when you're squatting, you'll get more warm up. If you're like, nah, the warm up you're giving me feels great, I'm like, good, then we won't have to change anything. 45 seconds per side. Again, these are for me. So I usually know what I need, but I want you all to see kind of what this looks like time-wise. My warm-up is typically 10 to 15 minutes. So if we're thinking that my workout's going to be 45 minutes, that like I'm lifting heavy for about 30, right? Maybe a little less, maybe a little more, depending on how much I get distracted. I take my breaks very seriously these days. I will set a fucking timer. I will do it because otherwise I will not fucking wait the whole time. And 2 minutes feels like an eternity. But it's very good for you. In this economy, Squidward just said it's snowing. It's getting cold here. You gotta get warm. Gotta get warm. Use you as an example of like being amazing. Yeah, I think I will. Okay, foam roll hip flexors, foam roll quads, and then I'm also going to foam roll T-spine. You can keep track of the total time if you want for about 45 seconds. Foam rolling the T-spine always just feels like fucking awesome anyway, so we're not going to miss that out. I actually, for me, hold on. I'm going to add in lats specifically. So this is a lot of foam rolling, but because of where I have issues, you're going to see a little more targeted stuff. Generally, I just give people T-spine. It feels great. I'm going to be like getting in upper and under here a little bit more. It's a little ouchy. The hurt so good from the foam roller is critical. It's just, it takes some getting used to especially if you're sensitive or have areas that are really sensitive. And we're always hitting areas with lots of nerve endings. So sometimes it just gets ouchy. I'm going to hit rear foot elevated hip flexor stretch. A lot of the stuff that I got is from Pain-Free Performance as well. Basically Pain-Free Performance and then Programming Around Pain from Dr. Farnsworth, which a lot of it is, again, it's all from the same, like Pain-Free Performance is based on like a lot of this stuff from other people, from like PTs and, really experienced athletic coaches and athletes and all that stuff. So like, and a lot of the stuff I get is from Jackie too, because we love Jackie. Jackie's the shit. If you're ever in Louisville and you need a PT, you go to Jackie. Hip flexor stretch, and then there isn't usually another stretch I do on this day. You'll see a pattern quickly between my 2 days that we've got foam rolling, stretching, core activation, nervous system activation. There's probably some other thing in it. Like biphasic stretching is part of the stretching. There's like a 6-step thing in PPSE, and I really like it. And when we did that course, we went through this whole thing where you do the 6-stage warm up, and then you do 50% body weight goblet squats for 25 reps. And like, that's something so that for me was like, again, I'm not 100% sure of my weight. So I did 70 pounds. Actually, I think I did 75 because I was like, might as well round up. So did 25 goblet squats with 75 pounds. That's pretty fucking heavy and it was hard. But because of the warm up process we did, your body gets pretty primed to perform and it worked great. So your bike warm was carrying down the stairs. Cash, I think that's pretty solid. That's not too bad. We'll take it. That's still, it's something, you're getting like, you're getting single leg, right? Back and forth, carrying, getting warm. As long as your core temperature gets up a little bit, we're in pretty good shape. We're not super worried about it. Also, because like, I'm guessing you don't get on the bike and just go pedal to the metal, right? You get on the bike and you like go, you get kind of like adjusted and you get moving and like, that counts. It's also bike is nice because it's not heavy impact. If you were just like running outside and running without warming up, did a bunch of people in the chat just go, yeah, if I could do that? You might want to fucking warm up a little bit because that's a lot more impact. There's something like, it's like 400% of your body mass in force down onto single leg when you're running. So it's like, if you weighed 100 pounds, it'd be like 400 pounds on one leg, right? Downward force. So when we think a lot of downward force, bike is pretty gentle. Bike, I feel like you can get warm up. You do just go pedal to the metal. I mean, as long as you're feeling okay, don't worry about it. I just, give yourself that little half a block to just like coast. Okay, Grot, what's up? Years ago, I was taught to get my blood flowing before lifting, so I always do 15 minutes of moderate cardio as my warm-up. So I don't think that's a terrible plan, especially depending on how heavy you're lifting, but it is not targeted to what you're doing. That would be the only thing. So what I'm building out right here, you will see is extremely targeted to the exercises I'm about to perform. So moderate cardio, yes, we're going to raise internal temperature. We're going to get breath pattern flowing, usually, like walking or being on the bike is this nice kind of biphasic. It's very nice for our brain. It's very flowy, but are you hitting the muscles and tendons and ligaments and joint areas that need to be prepped and primed to then do a squat or a bench press or a deadlift or to sprint or to jump or whatever it is that you're doing? So that is why typically for like the people that I see, we hit targeted areas so that they will be primed specifically. But again, if like, if you're in a shared space, like, you know, like a gym that you're just paying a membership to, if you don't for sure have like a mat area or a foam roller, I always tell people like, yeah, get on the rower, get on the bike. There are simple things you can do with that also help. Like a stair stepper is going to give you a little bit more priming for a squat day, right? Because you're doing a little more quad intensiveness. Rowing machine, really good for a little bit of everything, but definitely on a pulling day because that incorporates a lot of pulling, and it's pretty chill on the knees and joints. So it just kind of depends what you're doing. But again, we go back to our notes page where we talk about like training objectives. Why are we doing what we're doing? Very important. And that's like, that's just a, you know, doesn't tend to need a lot of targeting, but you do notice a difference based on how you warm up versus what you do. I would also say that 15 minutes of like, depending on how moderate, like that's okay. And again, I just said my warm up is like 12 to 15 minutes often, but a lot of it is just rolling around and stretching and it's movement, but I'm not working very hard because you want as often as possible. If we're thinking, again, things don't have to be fucking perfectly optimized. Like if you do your cardio before and you like doing that before and it makes you feel good before you do your lifts, that's fine. But if your goals are around taking your weights up, if you want to be lifting heavier, you want to be giving your body as best a shot at the start of your workout right after you've warmed up to do your heavy lifts, your KPI, which is like key point of intensity or whatever. I can't fucking remember what it sounds for, but KPI sounds cool, so we're going to say it. So that is like, that's the one thing that I would say about that. Warm up good. Targeted warm up better. Yes. I got you, man. And also everybody here, you fucking ask me questions all the time. And if you all have interest in, if you ever specifically like personally have more interest in this, like send me questions. I'll do a fucking Q&A off air or on air anytime. I do not know everything, not even fucking close. I'm coming up on my 3rd year of training. The couple of things that I think that I have done really well, aside from learning very seriously from being injured and taking information in very seriously about what pain is like and how it changes how you train and what approach you take. Like that's been really key and very helpful. Aside from that, I've also done a lot to do a ton of continuing education. And I really have never at any point stepped in and thought that I knew more than someone else. I've always been just extremely receptive. And I acknowledge that the times where if I get even close to being dogmatic, which I really try to not do, it's because I trust that is part of my methodology. And I just try to own that. Like, this is something I like doing. It's not the only way to do it. But, you know, because I just think it gets really dangerous when we're like, when we think that, again, with anything with fitness and health, if we have one thing that fixes all the problems, right? Because it's all going to be individual. There's a balance of science and personal individual needs. And sometimes the science doesn't get it right. And also sometimes our personal needs don't get it right. And we need a good balance of both, of recognizing where we might differentiate, but also where the fundamentals and the existing data and the existing like methods works really well, right? Rear foot elevated therapy kitten. Yes, sorry. Rear foot elevated. I'll put it in little things. This is trainer slang. So if you ever see that, so another one you'll commonly see is FFE, front foot elevated, rear foot. Yeah. And there's like sometimes random other stuff. Pretend to be a PG, roll around and stretch. It's so true. Stair days are nice. I don't tend to do stuff like that very often. Chasing cats and petting bunnies is perfect warm-up, Dallas Gan. Yes. Also, Therapy Kitten, nice to have you here. Welcome on in. I'm QueenB3atrix, and normally still doing lots of gaming, but I also am a personal trainer. I'm trying to do more fitness stuff. So it's not that elevated. Yes, good call. Rear foot elevated, it's a little bit misleading because it's actually just, here, I can pull up. I actually... If you will allow me to vamp a little bit and show my video of it from my account, my little teeny tiny account. I have a little video I can show you. Most of all the videos on here are demos, just for the record. It's going to be one of my early ones. And like, so if you're a client of mine, you've probably seen a bunch of these. I'm still working on building up this library, and I do want to improve them because I want them to have a little thing that slides over the front that has like the key cues, because I don't have that right now. Rear foot elevated stretch is going to be one of the first ones I did. I don't know why I didn't just go all the way to the back, because here's all my warm-up stuff that I'm talking about. Good. Biphasic hip flexor stretch, oscillating. This is the same thing. I just don't write biphasic hip flexor stretch for myself. I wanted it to be more searchable. So this is actually what it looks like. So we've got, this is how we have rear foot elevated for this situation. So it's just because my toes are tucked under so that I can brace off of them. And I'm creating a little bit of tension with my upper body and my hands, and then also holding here at the end. So just oscillating a little bit, tailbone tucked, trying to, sorry, let me just go back and pause. So we're thinking toes tucked under to create good balance from front foot to rear foot. A little bit of tension created with palms on the thigh so that upper body is engaged, because we do everything as total body. Like there's basically nothing that's completely isolated ever. So it's not cheating to brace properly. That's actually very helpful. And then yes, tailbone tucked. This shit will light up your hip flexor, like in a good way. Like for me, they're tight. So as soon as I tuck the tailbone under with that foot primed, like with that big toe down, my body's already like immediately like, oh shit, we're sore. I'll keep that up in case we need it for other things. But yeah, so but you're right. Couch stretch, also great. I don't tend to do couch stretch as part of a warm up. I will sometimes do it as an intraset stretch on a heavy back squat day. I will do that too. If I'm already like in my squats, I'll do like 30 seconds per side a couple times. There's varying philosophy on that. If you're a power lifter, so again, don't take everything I say for the complete truth. It always fucking depends. Always. But yes, yeah, sorry. So I know, and like, you know, the naming conventions that I use, I will probably put an exercise down here that everyone in chat is like, that's called this. And I'm like, no, I call it my weird thing, whatever. Okay. Speaking of which, so that's the only stretch I'm going to do on my squat day. Then I'm going to hit what I call bar fight bird dogs, which I can show you if you want. Why am I capitalizing everything? I don't care if I capitalize everything. Yeah, bird dogs. God damn it. I do function, I promise. We're going to do 2 times 6 per side. Just a nice amount for warming up. And then I'm going to hit some banded glute bridges. Again, Taliscan, this stuff will look really familiar. 2 times 8. Here. I'll show you guys what am I fucking doing? What am I fucking doing? So, God damn it. All the way back. All the way back to the beginning. I've been putting a lot of fucking tutorials up because I want to have them be my stuff. I think that's nice. So, bar fight bird dog. Where are they? Where are my bird dogs? Which are called quadruped arm leg opposites. Fucking mouthful. So they're just a slightly different bird dog variation. You see how low my hind foot is to the ground and how high my fist is, and I'm not looking forward. So we're not kicking this hind leg up as high as possible. We're keeping the torso and trunk a little bit more stable instead of focusing too much on spinal flexion and extension. And then as we tuck through, arm goes up and back, which is why I call them bar fight, because you're like elbowing the guy behind you. So we're thinking about tucking that in tight, which really activates the lat, and again gets that core active without too much big stretchy, big extension stuff. We're thinking stable, steady, and with control. They're nice. They're really spicy in like a different way. Regular bird dogs also good. They just do something slightly different. So there's that. Fucking scrolling. God damn it. I'm going to kill myself. Just kidding. That's not good. That's not good positive self-talk. Also, Therapy Kitten, tell me a little bit about yourself. You're coming in here with a lot of knowledge. That's so awesome. Okay, there's the old ones. You can tell when we hit the old ones. So, banded glute bridges. I'm typically using a loop band. You can also use, you can use whatever. You can just use the regular cloth bands as well. Looping under the heels just for a little bit of extra force to push against. I like these also because they really encourage you to keep your foot flat on the floor. Otherwise the band will snap out from under it. We don't like that. And you do want, if we're doing contact, we want foot flat on the floor. We're not pushing into the heels, lifting the toes up. We want that big toe down. That big toe talks directly to your glutes and hamstrings. Sorry, that was really short. That's fucking handy, I guess. Talks directly to your glutes. So we really want that to be usable. I've got my arms bent. So we've got 90 degree arm with a fist. So I'm driving into the floor as well. That also helps activate the upper body. And then I'm pushing out very slightly at the top when I come up. It's a little hard to see, but I do drive outward this way, but I'm not lifting my big toe off the floor. Yeah. So I'm trying to really engage lateral hip along the side of my body. Yeah. We like those. They're good. And then last but not least, I'm going to do an overhead reach. Let's ISO hold overhead reach to drop down 3 times 1. That one, I think I have on a short. It's a little weird. This is a nervous system primer. This is a modified one. So this has a soft drop down. I can show you what the regular drop down looks like as well. It is just meant basically to jolt your nervous system into activity. So we're tapping into our fight and flight responses in a controlled way, which is very cool. People at the gym might think you're being weird because you do like slap your feet into the ground in a loud way, which you will not be able to hear in this video, but this is so here we go. ISO hold overhead reach to drop down. So I'm holding at the bottom, reaching up overhead, onto the balls of the feet, and then slapping the feet into the floor, holding. That's a single rep. That's all that is. You do that 3 times with a nice little break in between, shake it out. I know, you can make a good little bit of sound. So that's going to be my warm-up for my squat pull day. We've made a lot of progress. I'm glad I gave us a lot of time. Muscle primers. I am going to, don't worry, Taliscan. Split squat iso holds. I need to get those back into rotation. We're going to just do 2 times 30 seconds per side with a 20-second rest in between, because both sides are working hard and they're fucking hard. I really, if I was not being a little bit chicken shit and knowing that I'm just like starting back over and I don't want it to be too hard, I would do 3 sets, but I don't want to. And I know I don't. If I'm feeling spicy, I'll add a 3rd one, but I just don't want to. And I'm going to be doing body weight. They are fully a war crime. We're going to be doing body weight starting out for the first 4 weeks because I'm just getting back in. I will take them for a longer time if I need to. I really like them because they fuck you up, but they're one of the best ways to get really good tendon and ligament adaptation. Your muscles and nervous system generally will learn and respond more quickly than your tendons and ligaments, which is why we're especially careful if we've had a long break from exercise. 4 months is not crazy, but it's enough time where I'm going to go in really cautious because I want to be supporting my strength as we're building up. Your tendons and ligaments take the longest. Your muscles will adapt. Your tendons and ligaments will be like, hey, I need a little time. So be really careful if you've had a long break and you've got like 18-year-old you in your brain that remembers like being mad when you got taken out of a soccer game, which is like something I do miss. I just wanted to run for 90 minutes. What was my fucking deal? If you've got that, if you have memory of being in really good shape and being able to like jump and leap and move and cut and do things quickly, all of those supporting parts of your body, the things that keep things in place, just remember they need to build up strength too, and they do it a little bit differently. Isometric holds tend to be a great way to do that. It's an area that I would love to have a little more knowledge on, but my fundamentals with them are basically like iso holds, and like if you're starting to do plyometric, cutting, running, moving fast, build up really slowly, like have a lot more volume that's like chill, jogging, walking, and then a couple things that are quick, and progress them slowly, typically with a professional unless you have the knowledge. So yeah. Booth, I haven't. I don't know how I feel about affiliate link stuff for certain things because was that post called Bar Fight Bird Dog? Yes, it was. Again, have a good time at work. Have a good time at work. Oh, Therapy Kitten, thank you. Everything, you know, it's all this shit's made up. I always like to say that as well too. Like somebody was just like, I bet we could call this bench press because you're on the bench and you're pressing, and they were like, we'll use a barbell or we'll use dumbbells or whatever. And then this is called a Romanian deadlift because of the Romanians. Like it's just stuff that we made up. And that's one of the best things I think about working with a really good PT is that she just like makes up random shit. She's like, well, it doesn't hurt here, and that's good for these reasons because it strengthens in this way and activates these things. So we're gonna do this weird thing that doesn't have a name. Because you just make shit up. You can just move around. I mean, what do you think dancing is? Dance moves all don't have a name, you know, but they could. You could name them. But yeah, so you know, if your form looks different from mine and it feels good for your body, that's okay. Again, a lot of it's just about what's the point? What's the mission behind the movement? Blood Princess was streaming. And I didn't know. Oh my God, my brain is exploding. Blood Princess, what were you streaming? Thank you so much for the raid. I'm obviously very excited to see you. Let me copy paste your name so I don't butcher it like a noob. Welcome on over. Hi, everybody. You playing Warframe? Oh my God. I'm so sorry that I wasn't lurking. You're the best. I will catch the next one. Is this going to be a regular thing? Blood Princess streams. Everybody please make sure you're following Blood Princess, who is just our favorite. So glad to have you all. A bloody raid. I'm doing very, very exciting program writing and listening to lo-fi that hopefully you can hear. So I'm basically just rambling about my job while I write part of a workout. Look at this. I've got my whole warm up and 1 muscle primer. I just realized I forgot some other muscle primers. So we're going to also do those. Hi, everybody. I'm QueenB3atrix. If you don't know, usually I'm gaming, but more often nowadays, not more often than gaming, but more regularly than before, we will be doing fitness stuff. So welcome on in. Happy to answer any questions. This is really good. Yes. That's what cash. That's what I'm hoping. Not because I expect anyone to ever work with me, but because if you're looking for a coach, first of all, happy to help connect you to the right person, but also I am here and always taking clients, and I really, really like my job. And I thought it'd be fun for everybody who's used to seeing me suck and die, do something that I'm good at. It's a real treat. It's a real switch up to be like, oh, look, Claire might know something about something. That's real fun. It's got to feel weird, right? Because usually I'm just like, what is this area of the map? I don't remember this. Well, I'm going to die again, which also makes me very happy. But oh, yes, Cash. I know your tendons are shad. They can get better, though. It's okay. We just take care of them. Bunch of farming, Stardew, Fields of Mystria, and Warframe. You did all sorts of stuff. How long were you on? Oh, my God. You guys are the best. That's so great. Oh, yes. I know. I'm not trying to just be like, everybody should fucking train with me. Give me your fucking money. Like, no, that makes me feel weird. That's why I don't have affiliate links. I don't know. The things I like most about my job, well, I obviously like talking about it with people because I'm doing that right now. But I really like helping people get access to good. Why did that just alert now? Yay! Little Princess Raid! Yay! 4 hours solid. Ooh, you got the endurance, girl. That's more than me. Ooh, that's great. Yeah, you did all sorts of stuff. I just really I want people to have access to the right support, especially because so many of us are dealing with injury and pain, even if it is just from something like sitting at a desk. Sitting at a desk fucking hurts my body. It doesn't hurt everybody's body. It hurts mine. I get really, really tight hips. My fucking knee pain gets really bad. That's why I'm at my standing desk. That's why I can wiggle around so much. But a standing desk is expensive. We don't fucking have access to that. My hope is to just help to be a great equalizer in the scheme of fucking fitness bullshit that is constantly just trying to make you feel bad and take your fucking money. If I do ever take your money, I want you to feel good. That's what I'm doing. That's the point. But you don't ever have to work with me. I just, I'm here if you ever need it because I really love doing it. I do nutrition coaching as well. Labs and tight hip flexors. That's why you know what couch stretch is. And probably for other reasons. There be kidding. You should try that rear foot elevated one. It's a little bit different. And couch stretch similarly though, tucking the tailbone under really good, but that gets a lot more quad, like deep quad for me. And for that rear foot elevated one, for some reason, always just feels a little more right in that hip flexor. I'm forgetting I want TRX rows 2x8. I do have some straps I can use here. And I'm also going to hit some just like goblet squats with a pause, 2x8 as well. And I'm going to just roll through these 3 things as my muscle primers. And at this point, if I've done like a 12-minute warm up and this takes 5 minutes, I'm not leaving myself a ton of time. I've cut in quite a bit. So that should tell you a lot about that the workout's not going to be a ton of stuff. I'm going to focus on, we're going to go back here for my squat pull day. I want to make sure I'm going to have my heavy squat be today because this is the warm up we have done to get ready to squat. So doing the full range of motion one or a fuller range of motion one will be great as an accessory on my other day. And same thing with the hinging. What I'm probably going to do today is give my stance or rotation variation. I'm going to include that here because I can do a little bit lighter. We'll do a little higher rep, but we're going to focus on our heavy squat being first. So I'm going to hit, because I've got a bar, we're going to hit barbell, back squats to the box, to the bench, because I've got a bench here. And we're going to hit, let's see, starting back over. Where's like a happy place for me coming in? We're going to keep them a little light. I also will be working out by myself a lot, and I will, just so everybody knows. There we go. Thank you so much for joining the United Queendom. Yay! Glad to have you. Hopefully you'll come back for some gaming stuff too, and look forward to the garage workouts. I got to get the lighting figured out, but so glad you decided to stick around. Thank you so much for being here. Back squats to the bench. I want to be going light enough with stuff, unless it's a deadlift. A deadlift, if it goes badly, I just don't pick it up or I drop it, and that's fine. But anything where I've got weight on my back, or if when I am doing bench press again, things like that, I want to be really careful. And also, cats will not be in the gym with me while I am lifting heavy. They can be in for warm up. They can be in for cool down and yoga, because it's very cute when they help with yoga. It's very not helpful, but it's very cute. But if I'm lifting heavy, just letting you all know, no animals in the gym with me, because I am a paranoid cat mom. Yes, but I just want to make that very clear. So if we're doing some heavy back squats, but I think starting out, I want to do a little bit more volume for this first month. So we're going to be doing 3x10, really classic, not super, super strength focused this first block. We're going to just be getting the movement pattern in. I think that feels good. I actually might do 3x8. That's still a decent volume. So we're going to do that. And then I want to start thinking about what I want to superset this with, rowing wise. Not going to be focusing too much on my pulling, right? But we do want to have some balance of that throughout the week. And I find if I'm doing like a 3x8 instead of like, when I get into like the 5x5 back squat where we're doing 5 sets of 5, they're pretty fucking heavy and I tend to just chill in between. But this is one I could superset something with, especially for time. So let's picture, I've got back squats. I've got the bar set up on the rack. I have benches. I have my 2 kettlebells. I have bands. I probably could still do some TRX shit, but I'm doing them in my warm up. So I'm not super, I think I'm going to just hit some kettlebell bent over rows. My plan is to get some dumbbells at some point, but they're expensive and they take up a lot. The rack! Blink Val's, hello! No animals because weight's heavy. Also, Mr. Gay! Hello, good to see you all. Blood Princess raided me! Blank Val's. Blood Princess. Blood Princess streaming and doing all the things and being awesome. I'm sure that went great. I'm very excited that you're streaming. Kettlebell bent over rows with rotation because I'm going to be squatting to the bench. The bench will be there set up. Again, it's my own space, but thinking about this kind of stuff for yourself is really good too, to be like, how am I pairing things? Am I going to be like, especially if you're in a gym with other people, like I wrote a program for someone recently where literally all 6 exercises I have him doing, it's 2 little circuits of 3, are all done on the same bench with dumbbells, like, or their body weight. Because I have him doing Copenhagen's. It's gonna be great. He's gonna love it. But I think about things like that as much as I can. I don't always get it right. Like I'm ADHD as shit and I forget stuff. And sometimes I have a lot of different things to remember for individual people with, with injury history, with access to equipment, whatever. So I always, I fuck it up, but we fix it. It's just fucked up for a little bit. But so this, the bench will already be out. I'm going to hit 3x10 per side because I don't have super heavy kettlebells here. I will be getting more as well. A lot of it's just money. We got to just wait until, wait for the right time. I also would love to get some secondhand and I want to get the right ones. Ordering this stuff online is kind of tough. Also because they weigh like 30 fucking pounds. So sending them back is a huge fucking pain. And the 2 that I got to do the kettlebell course I took last year, I thought they would be a shape and size I'd really like. I thought they'd be gentler on my wrists. I really don't like their texture. I don't like the shape. They feel big and clunky and weird to me. Not a fan, but I have them and they're there hanging out. So they're just going to exist here until I sell them on Facebook Marketplace. But they'll be very sufficient for early starting out. So this is going to be superset 1. Or here, we'll just call this, superset 1 is fine. I do a different naming conventions for stuff, just like based on how the fuck I'm feeling that day. But that's solid. We're also going to, let's see, what else do I want to think about for this day? Definitely hit some core. Stuff that's really helpful for me because I'm doing shoulder PT are things that have like scapular support. Things that make my scapular support muscles work in good ways. So like bear planks, regular planks, bear crawls, stuff like that. We're a big fan of. What else would I like to do on my squat day? Honestly, just like legitimately, if you're noticing, like the warm up and the primers is like a pretty solid workout. So on a bad day, if you just are doing this, you're getting nice and warm, you're getting some core in, you're getting some glutes in, and so I probably didn't explain this very well. I do the glute bridges on the squad day just to get the support muscles awake. You won't see them on the hinge push day, which is a little weird, but you want to have like kind of, we want to like circle the tree or whatever, circle the chum. So we get those, we want your hamstrings and glutes a little bit awake too. But we've like glute bridges, bird dogs, ISO holds, like our drop downs, and then our primers, like that's a solid, you could just do that and be like, I did good and I reinforced some good movement patterns. But then we want to do some other fun stuff, We'll hit another superset. This one will be, I actually really like, what's good with what I've got? Might do some banded variations. This is the only thing where I get a little bit, I love the kettlebells. Yes. You love I know, I like Copenhagen's. The first few times those and, well, you still don't like the split squat iso holds. That's fine. How did I injure my shoulder? It's just a prolonged overuse injury. So I remember the specific exercise I was doing where then the next day I was like, oh, it's injured now. But I don't think it was that exercise. I think it was just lots and lots and lots of months of slightly irritating it. I broke this arm when I was 6, falling off a trampoline, arm out straight, broke it up here. And from then on out, like the PT was super painful. Getting back to full range of motion I can still remember how painful it was as a kid and stuff like this. This is why like I do very thorough intake when I talk to people, and like injury history is really important because it meant, so not only is this my non-dominant arm, but it meant that from then on out, I kept it really close to my body, like kind of imitating where the cast was. There's like video of me, like VHS from home movies, playing soccer. And this arm is like tucked in next to me, like it's in a cast while I'm running. So we kind of think like, okay, so then I spend 30 odd years, heavily favoring my right arm to do complicated tasks out away from center of mass. This one stays in close. So surprise, surprise, as I was starting to incorporate more movements that are out away from my center of mass, where things get more challenging, where we have more rotation either internally or externally, where we're just like straining muscles differently. They have to work from fingertip to shoulder together more coherently. So when I'm starting to strain those over time, these tendons are like, whoa, I actually am not super prepared to do this. And I just got kind of chronic overuse. And my job is really active. Like, I'm not in person as much anymore. I'm more looking for online clients these days and have a great collection of them already. You guys are the best. But day to day, like there were a lot of days where I had 14 fucking clients and I'm demoing stuff all day. I'm picking things up. I'm putting together the trap bar. I'm setting up the barbell. I'm demoing bench press. I'm demoing all sorts of shit. I'm moving quickly. And I know that I've talked about this earlier and I'll talk about it again. I do not recover very well. I'm someone who runs very hot, very, very strained nervous system. A lot of the reason I've taken the last 4 months off is just because I can tell that my body is not able to perform at high intensities because I don't ever really tap into my parasympathetic nervous system well. So yeah, so I basically spent like a couple years just like grinding at it. But I was doing a half kneeling kettlebell crossbody swing, like not a, but like just a controlled crossbody movement for delts. So I was trying to like get this stuff up in here, and the next day it hurt to flick my wrist to like light up my Fitbit screen. That was like an 8 out of 10 pain. And every time I do it, I was like, fuck. And then but also talking about like, again, my anatomy physiology could be a lot stronger. I have a certification for my degree. For my job. I don't have a degree. My degree is in food science, which is very fun. But I learned a lot from the PTs I've worked with and coaches that I've worked with. And basically the way that our tendons connect around our shoulder are kind of at right angles. So when we rotate our shoulder, they rotate with the arm moving. So if they're inflamed, you will like essentially just like grind them. So if they're already irritated, it's just a very defensive area. So it's been a journey. And of course, I keep being like, I've let this go for a year because it was August of 2024 that I injured it. Yes, but I didn't really start seriously trying to correct it until like February, March of this year. So I just kind of rolled with it for like 6 months. And I would say like February, March of next year will be like, that's when I should be able to bench press again with any luck. But yeah, thank you for asking. Sorry, I'm so verbose. I just was reminded of that word the other day. So, yeah, Mr. K, minimum stuff. Yes. You think kettlebells are bad for ordering weight plates? It's all any of that shit that's heavy. It's like, how do we fucking put it back in the box and send it back if we don't like it? Playground slept. Good. Oh my God. Threw shit out and fucked up your right shoulder. I have almost no throwing power and but a gentle toss. Well, I know a great PT. But yeah, you can do the shot put. You'll be fine. The VHS, it's a classic time. Okay, let me focus. Sorry, I'm bad at this. Okay, so I want to hit, my kettlebells are heavy enough that I can do a kickstand, single arm, RDL with rotation. I will like that. Very glute intensive. That gets me my hinge stance rotation variation. It gets rotation and it gets kickstand, which I like and feels good. So we'll do that. And then we'll hit, we're going to hit, and I'm sorry, this is going to have 3 things. No one cares. We're going to have another pull. What do we want to do for pulls? I'm trying to think about what I have. I might have to come back to that. That's also very common with this stuff. I kind of like fill in what I can. I can do, I could do some dead bugs. Maybe not with too much weight. Dead bugs, arm going up overhead and back over center. Oh, I have the landmine set up too. Hold on. Maybe I want to do like a meadows row with a dead stop in here. I could do a meadows row. I like a meadows row. It's a little heavy, but I like that. Meadows row with dead stop. Damn it. That'd be fun. Those tend to actually feel okay, even though they're a little up out to the side, which is hard for the shoulder a little bit in some movement patterns. This one is okay because it's not a huge range of motion. And they're fun to do. I really like the landmine a lot. So that'll be nice. And then I will hit a core exercise. I also really fucking like this actually. I'll probably do, if I'm going to be here for this anyway, I'm going to, instead of the kickstand, I'm going to just do single leg landmine RDLs. Because I'll have the landmine set up for the dead stop. and I can superset those pretty easily, just shifting the plates around as I need to. Yeah, the exercise. I don't kill too many bugs either. I try to put them outside. Every now and then there's a spider though where I'm like, you can't be here, and there's no getting you out. Sorry, partner. But I try not to. Yeah, I like the landmine RDL a lot. That's also because you're on single leg. You literally lift 1 foot off the ground. So that also technically gets like a lunge in a little bit, but it's also very hingy. I don't think that'll be too intensive. I'll switch it back to the kickstand if I want, but I don't like working with my kettlebells, as previously mentioned. So this makes me a lot happier to think about doing. I'm still using them a little bit with my back squat superset. And then, yeah, for core in between, I think hitting some dead bugs is great. Let's do like 3 times 10 per side. I'll put some numbers in. Meadows Road dead stop. We'll also do like, let's do 3 times 8. Again, keep it kind of general, see how they feel. This one I'll put it at 3 times 10 per side. Because we're going to get that booty burn. That's what we're here for. And then I always will cool down. I basically do the same thing every time, and I give this to people all the time as well. It's just 90-90 recovery breathing. And we'll go back. My biggest problem is like, I always want to add too much. Like I guarantee you I will put in my day 2 and I'll go back and be like, oh, well, I'll put in some calves here and we'll do some more plyo. No. We're going to go slow and steady. This is 5 exercises, one of which is core, and I can always toss in a little more core if I want to, but that will get me some pulling mechanics, get me some good reach, good engagement in the center, and it's not too intensive. So we've got our 2 heavies at the start. One heavy, 1 accessory complementing that. And then we'll sneak in the Meadows Road dead stop. I can have a little heavier because I'll have had time to recover. It'll be okay. Cool down, 90-90 recovery breathing, which is for 5 minutes. That's going to be like laying on your back with calves up on a couch or a chair or a bench. So you've got like a 90-degree knee. And then so it's like 90-degree knee and then your body, whatever. It's just called this. I don't call it whatever you want. Cash, a lot of fucking exercises are super fucking metal, like skull crushers. Hello, metal as shit. 5 minutes. This is a 5 breath count in, 7 breath count out. It's very good for just like, you get like lymphatic drainage, probably. I don't know. Sure. It sounds nice if it does. And then it's just relaxing and gives you some like meditative shit. Meditative shit is good for us. Okay. How's everybody doing? What time is it? Great. We got another like hour. Who's ready? Who's ready to just talk about fitness? Emily, I'm so glad you slept. Jesus. That like makes me so happy. Dead bugs, skull crushers. What else? There was something. I felt like there was another one that I was like, this is metal as shit. I was making like my top 10 most metal. Most metal. I mean, deadlift is a pretty fucking metal name. Just gonna deadlift. There was another one. I also have a top 10 sluttiest list of exercises, which does include hip thrusts and RDLs and hypers. Skull crushers. Yeah. Fitness pizza in my mouth. Let's go. That's a great joke, Cash. I love that. Yes. Breath work. Therapy kitten. You get it. Therapy kitten knows. Also, AJ. Shot put in mouth. No. Ooh, speaking of which, I have a bunch of Pokey. I'm gonna eat some Pokey. Nobody's requested any candy in the fitness stream. That's still viable. It's so easy to make the slutty list. I know. There's too many. Kettlebell swings are pretty slutty. I think that snatches, although it's kind of a slutty name, is more metal. Clean and jerk, slutty or metal. That's the game we could play. Slutty or metal. Pokey time. Okay. We're going to do this shit again. One more time. Warm up. We're going to foam roll the glutes. 45 seconds per side. We are going to foam roll my pecs. I don't often make people do this because it'd be kind of ouchy. But like, oh shit. When the PT, when she like massages in my armpit and is like pulling my arm up and like drawing all this stuff down, I'm always like, hey! And it feels great, but it also hurts a lot. So I know that shit's really tight. But I don't really like overstretching it because I've got irritated tendon ligament shit. Too much stretching of my pecs and shoulders doesn't feel great. Blood Princess, thank you! I will eat another Pokey. Also, there was a PG here. We'll come back. And I will hydrate. I think dead hangs. Dead arm hang. Hell yeah. More candy in the fitness stream. God damn it. I will drink some water. Everybody. More candy. What? Better as exercise or better as sex? Which one? Dead arm hangs? I'm confused. What kind of sex are you having? That sounds wacky. Tell me more. Okay. You knew what you were getting into if you came in to hang out here. It's gonna get weird. Okay. Glutes, pecs. That's pretty much all I'm gonna need on a hinge push day. For foam rolling, I'll probably do T-spine again just because it feels good once I'm down there. If we're gonna be down there. And then we're gonna hit good ass pigeon pose. I picked up that name from someone. I'll show you what that looks like as well because it's a little bit different than regular pigeon. Regular pigeon pose we think is a little more of a static stretching position, and it is generally recommended to not do too much static stretching at the start of training. It's also, like I said earlier, referencing like powerlifters. Powerlifters tend to not really stretch at all because you want as much like tensile muscle as possible. That's again just an area that I don't have as much knowledge in. Learned a lot from my friend E-Robs, who we love, who's a competitive powerlifter and all around badass and great person. But I like a little bit of stretching. So just to be, again, kind of like we think like flossing, knock off the like interstitial tissue, getting like seeing how things move, get the blood flowing, get a little core. So hard to explain without like a regular pigeon, but you'll notice that here, so if you like from this position, angle of my hip to my knee is relatively upright. Yeah, like I'm not directly hip over knee, but we're a little farther forward, and I am applying pressure down into the floor while I do this. So then oscillating back, we're also not going that far down, because if you go into pigeon, you will just like cool it, like chill all the way down on the floor. This one is just oscillatory and again, downward pressure so that we're getting a lot of irradiation, not the radiation ghoul kind, just irradiation of force up through the hip and glute. Tends to feel really good. Yeah, therapy. It's good ass pigeon. I got this from a coach. It's so funny. I think we need a lot more like really highly technically skilled people calling shit like good ass pigeon. It's very funny. Oh no! Twitch, stop censoring. Rude bitch. What happened? Sugar is good for quick energy. Glycogen! Also, I'm just hungry. I'm hungry a lot. Just a coffee person. Get that caffeine rush in. Just make sure you recover well, you know? Hip thrust better. Oh, clean and jerk. Better as exercise? I mean, Squidward. You get to cast the final vote. Yes, Cash, I think that's a good call. Oh my God. I mean, if that, like, I know plenty of people who like to lift on an empty stomach. I'm not one of them. I also don't want to have eaten too much because I will be like burping up peanut butter taste like an hour later because my digestion's just a little bit, because I'm a high stress person. So my digestion tends to be a little slower. It's okay, but it's a little slower. So I like having something like 90 minutes before that would be considered more like a full meal. So be like pretty digested. Or I'll have like a banana, or like, you know, I'll do a piece of peanut butter toast a lot. Also because like peanut butter flavor, burping it up isn't that bad. Tuna fish sandwich, no, not a fan. And I love tuna fish, but like that's after workout only. We got to know ourselves. But it is recommended to have some sort of sugar, carbohydrate, especially first thing in the morning. And also something that you chew, because it's really good for gastric response and like just queuing up all of our like satiety and hunger hormones and having everything function. They tend to be a little bit higher operating first thing in the morning. Just something to consider if you're a person that skips breakfast, that your body's response to sugars and carbohydrates and proteins and digestible material is a little bit higher in the morning. And so it tends to set us up really well for a little more steady stream energy throughout the day. But as I said before, everything always fucking depends. So if you've got a way that works, I'm never going to question that. I just know sometimes we have to overcome the like, I don't feel hungry in the morning, and we have to fucking try eating something in the morning for a few weeks to see how it affects us, and see if we notice a difference, right? So there's a lot of trust falls that happen in training and in nutrition that are like, let's try it out. For like going back earlier to the PT, do this same shit for 6 weeks, and then we'll switch it up, right? Don't do it for a week and go, I don't feel different. You have to we have to commit a lot of time, and I'm really, really bad about timelines. So I do have to track stuff like that in some way, because I'll be like, it's been 100 years of the same thing, and it'll have been like 4 days. So just know yourself. This is all just a journey. All just a journey getting to know ourselves better. That's all I'm saying. Diner trip for bacon and eggs after lifting. Solid. We love that. Working out makes you realize how gassy you can be. Enjoy. It's true. Oh, Emily. And here I am just chewing in front of you like a whore. Yeah, good meaty stuff for post-exercise reward for sure. We got to refill that stash. Okay, what else do I like to do for my hinge push day? Warm up. Towel scan. You should know. Wait, here. These are my very scuffy. So I took a bunch of notes with Jackie. This is all very interesting. We can go through it another time. I do have banded glute bridge here. I think she swapped that one over. Yeah, so you can. I just like it on the other day. Because I also, part of the planning around that for me is like, well, then I get glute bridges in on a day that isn't focused around glutes. Like getting similar movement patterns on multiple days, but you could totally do it for this day. It's not a big deal. We're going to hit that, and then we're going to hit, let's see. I'm not going to do too much stretching. Why can't I like remember any of this shit for fucking, what else do I like to do for hinge push? Why do I like not remember all of a sudden? Here's single leg accessory. Oh, I like the adductor rock back with T-spine rotation. We'll definitely do some single leg RDLs. Yeah. Yeah. And I can show you what this one looks like as well if you'd like. And we're also thinking here, like, okay, we're getting some spinal flexion rotation in on a day where that's not the focus, but also getting a little bit of adductor, getting a little groin stretch. Just like hitting all the spots, you know, they're playing all the hits. Let's see, adductor. Ah! I could just look it up, but instead I want to just aggressively scroll. Bear with me. What we do. Oh yeah, my work YouTube is called Royal Decree Wellness. I know it's a little bit of a mouthful, but I wanted to cross brand with QueenB3atrix. So that's what you got. Adductor rockbacks, where are you? I think that's from a different day. Adductor rockbacks to T-spine rotation. I'm probably gonna scroll right by it and feel dumb because I'm wearing the same clothes and everything, which seemed really smart at the time, but now means that like everything looks the same. Shit. Let me just look it up. Rockback and T-spine. Oh. Where's mine? God damn it. You think I don't know what I'm doing. It doesn't matter. We can scroll slowly and look closely. I would say call it out if you see it, but it'll be like a 30-second delay. I know it's fucking in here. Lots of yoga stuff sneaking in. We like our downward dog. Thread the needle pose. I'm a big yoga person. Maybe it was farther back. Where's my adductor rockbacks? What the fuck? What this shitty fucking shit? Did I do it on the first day? No. It's gone. I don't know. It's fine. I'm sure I've scrolled past it. You're basically in like a one bent knee. You start in a quadruped position. You kick one leg out to the side and rock back towards your heel and then do spinal rotations. Emily, thank you for lurking. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Wait, who got banned? Oh my God. I missed some stuff. Oh. Yeah, well, my digestion's tired too because I'm tired. I love tuna. I just don't want to have it before I work out. All right. Oh yes, go walk at Plague Pals. Yay. Oh, good call. Walking is good. That's mostly what I've been doing for working out. On a more fun note, we could have entered the time of year when the cold weather has forced me to keep my door closed now. Oh, we have entered that. Oh yeah. Oh. Be a lot of work to have a different outfit, but I know. Well, I'm filming them on different days. I just want them to be consistent. Oh, Control F to find words. Is that how you do that? Eh. Thank you for learning things for me. Did that work? Adductor. Ah! You guys are great. Here you go. Yay! I'm not tech savvy. Yay! Thank you, Therapy Kitten. Yay. I want to call you Therapy Kitty because I say kitty a lot. So, rock back, T-spine rotation. Again, just gets a lot of stuff. Kind of similar to World's Greatest Stretch, which is another one that I do a lot for people. This one's just a little more supported and a little more groin focused. We don't hate the groin focused. Hey. Perfect. All right. Good shit. So, we're going to hit some of those. And then we're going to do some core. Which on our hinge push day for me. What do I want to do? For my stabilizing stuff. Probably some bear crawls. Bear crawls would be good for me. Just little baby ones. Yeah, I think. Yeah, let's see if there's something I'm missing from my old shit as I shove Pokey into my mouth. Yeah. That'll be fine. See, forward and back. Times 10 per side. Just once. And then we'll hit some twitchy jacks, which is just another variation that I like for nervous system activator. Okay, muscle primers. What do we hit? We hit single leg RDL with hand assist. 2 times 5 per side. Lots of balance, single leg work fitting in right in there. Really great for getting you ready for hinge push day. And then we're going to do some eccentric push-ups because my shoulder can tolerate those well. And we'll do 2 by 5 there as well. Again, anybody who works with me, you see a lot of the same stuff. I like just things with animal names in general too. Yes. Bear crawls. Also, you know, it's very interesting. I don't know as much about this, but talking to people about how, you know, babies you have to crawl before you walk. It's not just a saying. Like, you have to learn how to move and operate your side body left to right in a structured way. You have to do that step. You don't ever see a baby just like wiggling around and then stand up and walk. You have to learn to crawl because that's how you coordinate and start to stabilize your core. And bear crawls, something that a lot of us then stop doing. We stop crawling around. And I like to kind of have think of this like return to our basics in an interesting way. Not in some weird fucking you need to eat all meat paleo fucking just eat out the whatever people did 10,000 years ago and just eat avocado oil even if they didn't have avocado, whatever. None of that bullshit. None of this like times used to be better shit. Just in the like, okay, what are the things that help us move? What are the things that set us up to have the cross-body sling of this lat and this glute and this lat and this glute and these obliques work side by side with my body left to right? What are the things that help with that? Maybe I can return to some of those sometimes to then help reinforce really good walking position, to help reinforce interstitial muscles that support weird cross-body movements and all sorts of things. And I think that's kind of a nice thing to think about. Also, it's like there was a movement for a while where a lot of adults would just like go to playgrounds and play. And I think it's like, that's kind of fun. Like think about being on like the jungle gym and like climbing up ladders and like hopping over stuff. Like that's what we used to do as kids. Like play is a big thing that we let go of. We become more sedentary. We become kind of like on this XY axis of walking forward and back. And like, we don't twist and rotate and jump and lean and move. And that kind of stuff really excites me because I think it's fun sounding to like play again and to like be able to crawl around. And I want to be able to still do that for a long time. And I don't know. I just like it. I mean, Dalskin, you do you. It's true, Mr. Gay. Also, like, why 10,000 years ago? Why not 20? Why not 100? Like, I don't... It's all fucking arbitrary. It's all made up to sell you shit. If you like it, I don't care. You do you. I'm just saying. I'm gonna talk... I'm sorry. That will be my toxic shit, is that I will talk shit about diets. Because a lot of them are... I just don't like shit. I don't like fucking... People lying to people to get their money. Pisses me right the fuck off. Also because so much of it is from the like, you're not eating clean enough. You're making yourself sick. And it's like, bitch, what? No, I'm fucking not. How dare you? Fucking back the right the fuck off. You don't fucking know me. Makes me get real street real fast. Absolutely fucking not. Tell me you fucking know my life. Parse out every single fucking variable and tell me it's the fucking seed oils, motherfucker. Tell me it is. Fucking prove it. I'm gonna get real mad. I'm sorry. I'll calm back down. It just makes me really angry. Also because seed oils have like stuff that's good for you. They've actually been shown to have like a positive effect on preventing cancer. So seed oils. It's not the fucking seed oils. If you don't want seed oils in your diet, my the nutritionist at our gym was like, ooh, if you can remove seed oils from your diet, your diet's doing great. If you are in a position where you can afford to do that, where you've got the time, where you can make those kind of executive choices around your food, where if you want to do that ever, fucking go for it. But that also means that your diet where you're at is probably very good. If that's like the thing you're removing, solid gold. But if you don't want to remove them, if you're like me and don't give a shit because you just want to not be stressed and want to not be made to feel bad, and you want to eat things you like, and you also want to eat things that support you nutritionally, and you want to not have foods moralized and sold to you and fucking made to feel bad so people will take your money, don't worry about it. But if you want to worry about it, that's also okay. I am there, vegan. I know, my science and facts and my rage. Yes! AJ, I love that. Lounging tiger sounds nice. Yeah, I'll be doing some of that later. I just don't want people to get fucked with. That's all. There's no reason for us to get fucked with. All right, Cash, we are going to be starting with RDLs. This first set, just for you. Barbell RDLs. We'll do 3x10. Again, keeping a little bit. This will be a strength focused. I'm going to be like, we're going to be dropping these set, like the set and reps are going to really change over. And I'm just going to do the first month. Don't worry. Well, we can do this again. After I've run it by Jackie, we can meet again next week to do month 2. Because she'll be like, no, do this stuff. And I'll be like, yes, ma'am. Big beach incoming. I just don't have a good thing for hip thrust yet. I need to order one. I'm going to superset this with a core exercise. Actually, you know what? What I should do after muscle primers is shoulder PT. Which will take the time it takes. This will be a shorter workout because of that. Right now it includes the chest supported external rotations. It includes... Shit, what was that other one? It includes the single arm down dogs. There's one more. There's actually 2. Can't remember what the third one is. It's been a few weeks. And I remember them when I go to do them and then forget them when I'm thinking about them. Let me check my email. They're going to probably change here quickly. Yeah, fuck it. I'm not going to worry about it. One of them is, you're going to love this, ball catches. There's one more. We got here. We got here. We got the drag and drops. Oh, side laying ISO holds. Heavy ISOs. Those will be a little tricky to do at home, but I can do everything else. So the side laying ISO hold, I'm literally just on my side with a heavy weight. I'm laying on the floor and holding it directly overhead. I was up to like 45 pounds and you hold it for like 60 seconds. Chest supported external rotations on the medicine ball, yoga ball, rotations up and out, single arm down dogs, heavy ISO holds. And then the ball catches I do at the end is with like a 1 or 2 pound ball. I can just use a weight, or a softball is fine. And you hold it out at an angle and you drop it and you catch it, you drop it, and you catch it. So that's actually a really good sign that I'm doing something like that, because it's fast twitch muscles and a little bit unpredictable. And you start out with, when you're doing like PT stuff, very structured and supported. We think like support, pain-free, you know, acceptable range of motion for your body, all that stuff. And then you progress up to like unpredictable, quick dropping, catching. Like fast twitch stuff is where you're most likely to get injury. So that I've worked up to that is really good. Ooh, what's YTWL for scapular? Let me look that up. YTWL. Let me see what this is. Oh, yeah. YT. Yes. Yeah. That one is, I also would probably be pretty okay for me these days. We got Y, T, W. Is L this way? I'll have to look into that one more. Yeah, I'm still not working out super far away from my center of mass with a lot of things. I like stuff like that though. That's a good reminder, and really good for other people who don't have what I'm dealing with, for like well-rounded delts and shoulder. Yeah, ball catches. They're like ball drops. Drop and catch, drop and catch, drop and catch. And working on grenade catches, yes. They're very, very good for hand and wrist too. And I basically just do them at the end of my I do like 3 sets for the PT, and I do the ball catches to failure. So an account and do like 60 of them. And it's fucking hard as shit. Yeah, it's really interesting. RDLs, and then let me see what else let's go back to our notes. We're going to be doing our shoulder PT, so I'm probably just going to set myself up with 2 supersets here. We need a lunge. Yeah. Not going to worry about the carry. We'll get that from the RDL. Yeah. Oh. 2 is going to have lateral step up on bench. So it'll be a little high. So I'll probably do pretty light. 3 times 10 per side. And I'm going to hit landmine shoulder press. 3 times 10. Keep those nice and light. Should feel good. And let's hit some spicy core here. I'm actually probably just going to put, let's see. We'll do 2. We'll hit a rotational, like a crossbody. And we'll do like a hold. So we did some bear crawls in our warm up. So I'm not going to stress about that. We'll hit, I like grinders. I could do some, oh, actually, I'll hit some pistol squats or pistol crunches. Sorry, pistol crunches on bench. I have space to have the bench set up 3 times 8 per side. They get really spicy. I don't have a good video for those, but you get in the leg lift position, but you have one leg bent and you lift up overhead. So it's like, ka-cha, with your legs. Ka-cha! Exactly like that. Ka-cha! Pistol crunches on bench, and then I'll hit some plank holds. Will be good for me. 3 times, I'll do 45 seconds. Yeah, I can do 60. It's fine. That draws out time a little bit. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't have a good way to make them weighted. I could do decline. I think that's, yeah, decline plank holds. I could see how that felt because I can put my feet up on the bench. Yeah. I think that's like what we got, guys, for the first month. Covering a lot. I don't have any calves, but that's okay. Cool down is going to be our same 90-90 recovery breathing. I'm just popping it in just so you can see it. And I'm going to be hitting yoga a couple days a week and walking. So things I'm keeping in mind for the next block. Block 2 are, oopsies. Let's see. Calves. Fuck! I hit caps lock. Calves. Introducing plyo. And that should basically be oh yeah, progressing to more strength based set rep scheme. Okay. Obviously it doesn't usually take me this long to write this, but sometimes it does. Grinders are again, I like a lot of like unilateral like variation stuff. So grinders are just on the floor with one foot. You bend one leg up so one foot's by the other knee and crunch up. They're just hard. I like them. I like difficult core. The core stuff, like the pistol crunches and the decline plank holds, day to day, I might just be like, I'm not doing those. I'll do something else. You should also like realistically vary your core as much as you want. Just think about doing something that is has some side body component. So one side or the other, or even just has movement versus something that doesn't. That's a pretty good basic place to start. Something that moves, something that's a hold. And then we think about like rotation, whatever. Another thing I don't really have a ton of here directly is extensors. So I don't have like a Superman or something that would really get like low back, but I do have RDLs and then also think about the the bird dogs have a lot of extensor. There's stuff sprinkled in here that requires stability of my center. And I'm very mindful of that because I'm somebody who can get low back discomfort. So, what do we think about this? Did we do pretty good? I think we did pretty good. We got one block done, but I also rambled a lot and exposited a lot. But I think overall, this sets us up, again, referring back, we're going to be doing, glutes, quads, hammies. Are we doing what we were setting out to do? Keeping me under 45 minutes. We've got back squats with landmine RDLs. And I may swap. Jackie may decide there's something that works a little better for me. That's fine. We're split squat isos in there, and goblet squats as part of our warm up to like really, really support whatever we're doing low body wise. We've got glute bridges. We've got a pretty high proportion of low body considering like how little I'm really planning to do. I've got our single A RDLs in here. Lots of core, but I want to do that as well too. I probably could include a little more. Like the other thing I don't have at all is any bicep or tricep. I'm just like, nah, we're not doing that yet. But I'm really not, you can't do it all the time. especially with where I'm at. Some people get these like really great full everything every week. If I'm trying to do 2 workouts in 45 minutes or less, this is what I'm going to prioritize, especially because rear kinetic chain is really important and quads are really important for me right now and for everybody. So, and core stuff just sounds fun. And again, I'm being a little thinking about Taliscan's going to be there. Just thinking a little bit about being, it's like, what's going to make me feel the hottest at the convention in May? That's what it's about. So, anyway, let's find somebody to raid. Thank you all so much for being here. This is really fun. Hopefully you don't mind listening to me talk about my fucking job a lot. Oh yes. So I did not, Mr. K, good question. I did not put my rests in. Let me talk about that really quick. We'll do that really quick. I don't put them in for myself because I just do them, right? But let me put those in. I am forgetting. Wait, what just happened? Thank you, Taliscan. You guys. Taliscan, thank you. Getting people ad free. Thank you so much. You're all the best. Oh, thank you. Soka, AJ, yes, excellent. A couple of people who, I don't know if they're here lurking. If you are, awesome. You just got ad free. Yes. Yes. You just do them. I know. Well, okay, let me put rests in. That'll be the last thing we do. So what I'm going to be thinking about, warm up doesn't really need anything, right? We're going right into stuff. I've noted one here for my split squat iso holds. After I do that, I'm going to rest for these guys 30 seconds, which I'm just basically going to allow myself to be distracted and transition back to my TRX rows. After these guys, we're going to rest for 90 seconds. So dick around for, which may only end up being 60, but I will try to set my timer and take that seriously. For these, I'm probably going to rest for 60 because it's going to be less, it's not as heavy. I'm going to take a full minute. This is my KPI. My back squat is going to be my heavy focus for the day. I want to have a good long recovery, like chill out for a full minute, minute and a half. Set a timer if you need to. And I'm just treating these like I'm going to do back squats, then I'm going to do my rows, then I'm going to rest. Same thing here. When I do this this trio, whatever. Taliscan, there we go. Yay, good. Oh, perfect. Good. There we get deserved one. That's good. Thank you, Taliscan. You're the best. You're too nice. So we're thinking about tactically resting, taking into account how heavy we're lifting. If I'm going heavier, I'm going to rest for a full 2 minutes, which is honestly pretty easy if you just like let yourself get distracted. These guys, these are pretty low intensity. So I'm going to do 30 seconds here for this muscle primer. Oh wait, shit. I'm going to probably do, what I'm going to do realistically is do these 2 things together and then do my shoulder PT, which I will just rotate through. Marlon, you still at work subscribing. Thank you for the sub, Marlon. I love you so much. That's good timing. Taliscan, you've gifted so many subs to people. This should be your channel. You've bought so much stock. Thanks, you guys. You're the best. I'm not going to take rest in between here. I just will as I need to for the PT. These guys for the RDLs, this is going to be like a 60-second rest. Because I'll have, kind of higher level core stuff, but not too bad. That will be resting my glutes and hamstrings while I'm doing it. So, and I'm not going to be getting winded. I'm not like running and jumping around. These guys, lateral step up, landmine, I probably need I'll do a 60-second rest in between just to make sure that my shoulders feeling happy. And also just to give myself time if I need to adjust stuff or move things around, whatever. But yes, good call. So when I program stuff for people, I do put that in for you. For me, it's sorry, I'm forgetting the stuff that I just know. But that's a really good thing to think about. And that's one thing that people really skimp out on because I have to set a timer because if you're just wait around for a minute, unless I'm counting every second, I would stand here for 8 seconds and be it has to have been an hour. So we just have to. Yes. W program. Thank you. It's a pretty good start. Again, there's some things that are missing, but this is attainable. These are things that I like. These are things that will not hurt my body, especially with where I'm at. I will plan to get a couple things for next month. I'm going to get a hip pad so I can do hip thrusts because that's actually what I'm going to want. Maybe not for the first 12 weeks, but for the second, that will be my hypertrophy big booster for low body before the con. So that vault suit looking extra fit. If we have the option to do this, we might as well. It's really fun. And otherwise, great time, everybody. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me while I wrote programming and talked about my job. This is going to happen a little more often. I know it's not going to be for everybody, but I would love it if you all were down to chat about this stuff with me because yes, I know hip three. Squidward, help with the sluttiest list of exercises. I know that you are ready. Let's see who is on. Juice is on playing Raft. We got a really great raid from Juice last night, so that is where I'm inclined to go. If somebody else has another pitch, please, please, as I hit all the bees, let me know. But we do love Juice, and that would be an easy place to kick over to. Good stuff. You guys are good stuff. And these workouts, these are things that I can do in my home gym. So we'll be able to do these on stream together, and you will get to listen to me repeat the shit out of myself because, oh, we got a little hype train, you guys. 12 birthday stream. Is that a 12-hour birthday stream? Who is that? Send them to me and I'll look them up. And then, but Juice is always a good spot too. And Blood Princess, let me just give some shout outs while we're, okay, Juice. Okay. Friend of Juice. Okay. Are they, did they happen to be playing with Juice right now? Let me check as I wobble my camera around. Because they're collaborating with some, no, they're just, he's just doing Happy Holidays stuff. Well, Friend of Juice is also good. Let me see how long, doing Zelda. Okay. Well, okay, everybody, Zelda or Raft, you pick. I'll give you a couple seconds. Mango Moonbeam. Nice. First playthrough. Cool. They look cute and nice. Well, if there's someone that Squidward likes, of course they are. That could be fun. I'm very down for either. Yes. Okay. Have I been saying Mongo Moonbeam instead of Mango? Do you all hear the Dungeon Crawler Carl just like in me forever? It is a part of me. It is a part of me. Okay. Appalled. Taliscan and I will have exciting news about the Dungeon Crawler Carl book club that's going to be coming up next month because it's December already and it's in January. Also, Taliscan and I are going to be playing some, whatever it's called, a thing for a thing. Killing it. What the fuck is that game called, Taliscan? Minuet and Power. Ambition. I did it. I just had to revert. Oh my God. Oh, at least I'm the one that has to do. I'm the one that has to live with it. You just get to laugh at it. But yes, Taliscan and I are going to be playing, and we're going to be ambitiously achievement hunting in Ambition, a Minuet and Power, and dicking around with French people. It's going to be great. And some Americans and some people from Italy, and it's going to be awesome. Let's make that priest so uncomfortable. But yes, thank you to everybody who jumped in today. Red Sir and Cash with your stream streaks. Oh my God. Also, Blood Princess, thank you for the raid. Everybody make sure you're following Blood Princess. Therapy Kitten, thank you for following. Thank you for the candy and the hydrate. Blood Princess, Mr. K, Taliscan for gifting all the subs. Marlon for resubscribing. Thank you for the hydrate, everybody. We did it just in time to raid. Hopefully you all enjoyed this. It's also just nice to hang out and spend time just chatting and working on stuff together. And I really did need to get this done. So yeah, everyone go have a little treat. Let me get this raid started. Thank you to everybody for being here. And we'll be back on Wednesday for more Fallout New Vegas. Let's go say hi to Mango, not Mongo, Mango Moonbeam for their birthday. And I will see you all soon. Thanks, everybody.